There comes a moment in every life when the noise must fade, when doubt must be silenced, and when one voice must rise above all your own. That voice must declare not hope, not wish, but certainty, and today I speak with that certainty. I will win. This is not a maybe, not a someday, this is a promise. I don't say this because it's easy. I say this because I've decided, because deep within me lives a vision so strong, so clear, that no obstacle can erase it. I've learned that we don't get what we want, we get what we believe. And I believe, without question, that my purpose is greater than my pain, my future is bigger than my fears, and my commitment is stronger than any excuse. I've made a decision to win, and from this moment forward, I walk, speak, think, and act like the champion I am becoming. The power of thought. I am becoming what I believe. What if I told you the greatest power you'll ever need isn't found in your bank account, your background, or your connections, but in your thoughts? The truth is, we become what we think about. Every thought we nurture shapes our future. Our minds are like fertile soil, and whatever seed we plant, whether of victory or defeat, will grow. If I dwell on fear, I will become fearful. If I focus on failure, I will shrink at every opportunity. But if I think like a winner, walk like a winner, speak like a winner, and act like a winner, I am preparing myself to win. This isn't self-help fluff. This is a law of life. Everything you see around you began as a thought. The chair you sit on, the building you're in, even the life you're living right now. Somewhere, someone thought it first. So the question isn't, will I win? The real question is, am I thinking like someone who wins? Because if I hold on to doubt, I'll hesitate. If I cling to negative thinking, I'll sabotage my own progress. But if I feed my mind with vision, discipline, and belief, then even when I'm knocked down, I'll rise stronger. Every champion you admire, from athletes to entrepreneurs, won first in their minds before they ever crossed the finish line. They imagined victory so vividly that the world eventually had to catch up. I've chosen to do the same. My thoughts are not a reaction to my circumstances. My circumstances will soon be a reflection of my thoughts. That's why I guard my mind. I speak words of power. I choose thoughts of strength. Because where focus goes, energy flows, and I refuse to give my energy to fear. I will not surrender to doubt. I will feed my mind the belief that my goals are possible, my dreams are valid, and my future is under construction. Brick by brick, thought by thought. I know there will be voices, outside and inside, telling me to settle, to shrink, to slow down. But I answer them all with a calm, unshakable voice that says, I will win. This is a promise. Not because I'm lucky, not because I have all the answers, but because I've chosen to think thoughts that build, not break, that lift, not limit. Every day I am sculpting the person I am becoming with every dominant thought I allow, and I'm choosing power over pity, growth over comfort, vision over distraction. I see the win long before it happens. I taste it, I feel it, I rehearse it in my mind until it becomes inevitable. I will win, not by accident, but by design. And that design begins in the mind. That is my secret weapon. That is my truth. And that is why this isn't just a statement, it's a destiny. I will win. This is a promise. Clarity of purpose. The power of knowing where I am going. Winning begins with knowing what the win looks like. You cannot chase what you cannot define. Clarity of purpose is the starting line for every victory, and without it, you're not running a race. You're just running in circles. I've realized that the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't always talent, luck, or timing. It's direction. People with a purpose wake up with fire. They move with intention. They don't waste energy on distractions because they know what they're after, and I do too. My purpose isn't vague or hidden. It's bold, it's loud, and it pulls me forward when I feel like giving up. I've taken the time to ask myself, what do I want? Why do I want it? Who do I need to become to earn it? And when those answers became clear, so did my path. Purpose gives me a reason to suffer without quitting, to fail without folding, to hurt without hiding. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones and delays into preparation. when I know why I'm fighting, I stop fearing the fight. And make no mistake, there will be resistance. There will be days when motivation is gone and doubt tries to move in. But that's when purpose becomes my fuel. I don't rely on feelings, I rely on focus. Focus born from a deep understanding of my mission. I'm not out here to impress people. I'm not chasing dreams that don't belong to me. I'm chasing the life that calls to me when I'm quiet, when I'm honest, when I'm real with myself. That's clarity, and when you're clear, you're dangerous, because clarity cuts through confusion. It tells me what to say yes to and what to walk away from. It teaches me that every no to a distraction is a yes to my destiny. I'm not guessing anymore. I'm not wandering. I know where I'm going, and I know who I am becoming. I am becoming the kind of person who follows through. The kind of person who doesn't need external validation to keep going. The kind of person who says this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do, and nothing is going to stop me from fulfilling it. That's what purpose does. It anchors you, it hardens your resolve, it lifts your standards and sharpens your focus, and it gives you the courage to say, I'm not here to merely survive, I'm here to win, and not just once, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. So I don't move blindly anymore. I move with vision, I move with direction, I move with promise, and every step I take is one step closer to the version of myself I already see in my mind. I am locked in. I am aligned, and with purpose as my compass, I no longer wonder if I will win, because I already know I will win. This is a promise. Action. Where dreams meet destiny, dreams are beautiful, but dreams alone don't change lives, action does. Ideas are cheap, but execution is priceless. I've learned that every vision, every goal, every promise I make to myself means nothing if I don't back it up with daily discipline, because action is the bridge between where I am and where I want to be. Without that bridge, my dreams will stay locked in my imagination, collecting dust while life passes me by. But I'm not here to fantasize. I'm here to build, to move, to take steps that scare me, to do the work that most avoid. I know what I want, and now I'm proving it not with my words, but with my actions. Success doesn't show up for those who wait. It rewards those who work even when it's hard, even when no one's clapping, even when no one's watching. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. The momentum comes after motion, and the truth is, action doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's silent, but every time I take a step, no matter how small, I'm casting a vote for the person I want to become. The world won't hand me a trophy for thinking big, but it will open doors when I move with intention, when I show up day after day with commitment written in my effort. I don't wait to feel ready. I don't wait for the perfect moment. I act because action creates readiness. Action creates confidence. Action is the fire that turns doubt into discipline, fear into focus. And that's why I no longer hesitate. I don't overthink. I don't pause in fear. I've decided that it's better to fail in movement than to sit still in regret. It's better to try and fall than to wish and wonder. The gap between my dream and my reality is not time, it's effort, it's sweat. It's consistency, so I show up not when I feel like it, but because I made a promise. I will win, and I know that every rep in the gym, every hour of study, every early morning and late night is stacking bricks toward that promise. There are no shortcuts. There is no secret sauce. It's just effort applied daily. Some days I may crawl. Some days I may sprint. But every day I move forward, because winners are not the ones with the easiest path. They're the ones who walk it anyway. I act because I believe. I believe because I act. And the more I move, the more unstoppable I become. There is power in action. There is growth in motion. There is victory in momentum. And no matter how far the finish line may seem, every step I take brings it closer. So I'll keep showing up, keep grinding, keep building, because I understand one simple truth. I will win. This is a promise. Persistence. I don't quit. I conquer. There is one trait that separates those who nearly made it from those who did, and it's not luck, talent, or timing. It's persistence, the ability to keep going when everything around you says stop, the decision to rise again when life knocks you flat. I've come to understand that persistence is not about speed, it's about refusal. Refusal to give up, to back down, or to accept anything less than what I said I would achieve. I will win not because it's easy, not because everything will go my way, but because I refuse to quit. The road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with setbacks, silence, rejection, and delays, but the difference between winners and everyone else is simple. Winners keep showing up, no matter how slow the progress, no matter how loud the doubt. I keep going. I've faced closed doors, unanswered messages, failed attempts, but I didn't fold. I adjusted, I evolved, I learned. Persistence has taught me that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path to it. Every no builds my hunger. Every obstacle sharpens my resilience. I've stopped measuring my progress in comfort. Now I measure it in growth. And I know that growth often feels like pain before it feels like pride. That's the price of greatness. While others look for an exit, I look for another way forward. While others stop at it's too hard, I say, let's find out how far I can go. The promise I made to myself wasn't I'll try. It was I'll finish. And finishing requires fire not just on the good days, but on the hard ones, especially the hard ones. There will be moments when the results don't match the effort, when it feels like nothing's working. That's when most people walk away, but I'm not most people. I know that the breakthrough comes after the breakdown, that the reward comes after the repetition, and that every great story includes a chapter where the hero wanted to quit but didn't. And this is my chapter. This is the season I prove to myself that the pain is worth the promise. I'll be tired, I'll be tested, but I won't give in, because I'm not chasing something temporary, I'm building something permanent. I'm writing a legacy, and you don't build a legacy in a weekend. You build it in the dark, day by day, brick by brick, with grit in your soul and fire in your heart. Every time I choose to continue when quitting would be easier, I'm proving to the world and to myself that I'm exactly who I said I am, a finisher, a fighter, a winner, and that's why I don't just speak the words, I live them. I will win. This is a promise, the journey of growth. Becoming is the real victory. Winning is not just about the trophy, the applause, or the title. It's about who I become on the way there. Success is not a destination I arrive at one day and say, I made it. No, success is a journey, a process of transformation that begins the moment I decide to grow. Every day I commit to getting better, even by 1%, I am winning, because the real victory is not in the reward, it's in the evolution. I'm not chasing a moment, I'm chasing mastery, and that means I'm not just here to achieve things, I'm here to build character, to stretch my capacity, to strengthen my mind, and to elevate my standards. Growth is the measure of real success. Titles can fade, applause dies down, and recognition is temporary, but growth is permanent. I grow by doing what's hard, by showing up when I don't feel like it, by learning from failure, and by staying humble in victory. Growth demands discomfort, and I've learned to lean into it. I no longer avoid struggle, I use it. Every challenge is shaping me into the person I promised myself I would become. That's why I don't complain about the pressure, I welcome it. Because pressure doesn't break me, it builds me. Every time I push past a limit, I expand. Every time I resist the urge to quit, I rise. Every day I choose to stay committed. I'm not just moving forward, I'm leveling up. I am not the same person I was yesterday, and I will not be the same person tomorrow. That's growth, that's success, and that's why I say I will win, not just externally, but internally, because when the goal is growth, I can never truly lose. Even my setbacks teach me something. Even my delays prepare me for what's next. I understand now that the best version of me is not found in a single moment of glory, but in the thousands of unseen, uncelebrated moments of dedication and discipline. And that's what separates dreamers from doers, the willingness to grow when no one is watching. I'm not in competition with anyone else. I'm only competing with who I was yesterday. And as long as I'm growing stronger, wiser, more focused, I'm winning. The journey itself is the reward, and the person I am becoming is the true prize. So I don't rush the process. I don't skip the steps. I embrace every lesson, every trial, every sacrifice, because they are shaping me into someone unshakable. The promise I made wasn't to take the easy route. It was to grow through every moment until I became undeniable. And now, with every breath, every decision, and every action, I'm not just chasing success, I'm becoming it. And that is why I can stand here with full confidence and declare, I will win. This is a promise. Becoming unstoppable. Success is who I grow into. Success isn't just something I achieve, it's someone I become. That's the truth most people miss. They chase outcomes, the money, the recognition, the applause. But I've learned that real success is not about collecting rewards. It's about becoming the kind of person who earns them. That's why I don't just train for the goal, I train for the growth. I don't just chase results, I chase transformation. Because success is not a fixed moment in time, it's a lifelong evolution. Every challenge I face, every failure I overcome, every uncomfortable decision I make, it's all shaping me into someone stronger, wiser, more focused. Growth isn't glamorous. Most days it's silent. It happens when no one's watching. It happens when I get up early to work on my craft while others sleep. It happens when I choose discipline over distraction, integrity over shortcuts, and courage over fear. This journey is molding me, and that's what makes the win meaningful. Without growth, the goal means nothing, because who I become along the way is what gives the win its value. I'm not chasing quick wins. I'm building a strong foundation. I'm working on my mindset, my habits, my leadership, and my character, not for the applause, but for the alignment. Because when who I am lines up with what I want, that's when I become unstoppable. Most people want the success, but they don't want the struggle that shapes it. I've chosen both. I welcome the struggle because I understand it's a signal that I'm expanding. I embrace the hard days, the uncertain moments, and the setbacks because I know they're making me unbreakable. Growth means learning how to stand up after every fall, speak truth in every storm, and keep showing up even when the results are not immediate. That's what makes me different. That's what makes me dangerous. I'm not here for surface-level success. I'm here for depth, for durability, for real elevation. My mindset has shifted. I no longer fear the process. I trust it. I no longer question the timing. I master the moment. Because every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that I'm becoming the person I was born to be. I no longer chase the promise from the outside in, I build it from the inside out. My commitment, my consistency, my growth, they're all stacking together, brick by brick, into the life I know I'm capable of living. I am not finished. I am not perfect, but I am becoming, and in becoming I'm already winning. That's why I don't just hope. I declare. I don't just plan, I pursue, because this isn't just about a goal, it's about my identity. And with every test, every trial, and every triumph, I step deeper into that identity. I am becoming a winner, and that is why, without hesitation or doubt, I say, I will win. This is a promise.